Hi, I'm Kaylyn Kyle, former Canadian international, and now your sideline reporter and digital host for Inter Miami CF. Welcome to a brand new show called OnSide, a show about everything football and everything Inter Miami CF. Now, I definitely could not do this on my own, so I found one of the most talented and most knowledgeable men in the world of football, Andres Cordero, also your play-by-play for Inter Miami. Dre, how are you?
Thanks, Kaylyn. Thanks, by the way, for the nice words.
It's the truth.
I try and put in the work. No, I believe you, and thank you for being my best hype man as well. I'm doing really, really well, honestly. I love that we can still sort of get Inter Miami fans close to the team, as close as possible. Given everything that's going on, we'll give you tactics, we'll give you analysis, we'll give you interviews. I think this is going to be a really, really fun adventure that we embark on together.
Yeah, and I can't wait to continue to learn from you. Like I said, you're so knowledgeable. Your work ethic is second to none. You're phenomenal to work with. So we are going to make this so much fun. But I need to ask you, first off, this is just a crazy time with everything going on in the world with COVID-19. No one was prepped for this, and now there's like a stoppage. There's no football, there's no sports. So what have you been doing to keep busy whilst you've been at home?
Yeah, you know, I knew that football was a disproportionate part of my life. I just hadn't realized to the extent that it had completely consumed me. And I miss the game. I miss calling games. You know me, I call 2 to 5 games per week. I found myself the other day watching Belarusian top flight football because it was literally the only thing that I could find. And it was not just the Belarusian top flight, but the Belarusian top flight with no fans in the stands, so you can imagine the excitement that sort of drummed up. But I also miss playing the game. I have a weekly game with a group of friends of mine, and that is so therapeutic that I cannot wait for this to be behind us. I get back to playing, I can get back to calling games. I never played at the level you did, Kaylyn. I'm in awe of you and of every other professional footballer, but it still means a lot for me to go out there and run around like I'm a kid again. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that.
I'm a bit shocked I haven't got the call up to come play in your is it 6-a-side, 7-a-side, so I'm a bit disappointed in that. I'm going to let it go, but if I don't get a call up by the end of the Inter Miami CF season, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. But I need to ask you too, I know that you're big on Twitter. Do you have a TikTok account?
I do not. I need to get on TikTok. That's where the kids are today, right?
They are. Now, obviously, around the world, everyone has been doing toilet paper challenges, hashtag stay at home. What's your word of advice to people that are tuning in on this show that are stuck at home, that might be stuck by themselves without family, without, maybe a roommate or even kids? I mean, I'm stuck with a 22-month-old and my husband. Now, I love them to death. They are the best things in the world. But as you can see right now, I'm on my balcony just away from them, and it's so quiet and peaceful. But what can you tell people tuning in that might not have anyone to quarantine with?
You're going to be so upset with me, right? Because I feel like I'm reliving a second bachelorhood. My wife is staying with her parents, and my 2 children. I have 2 kids under 3 years old because of all the help that she can get there with her mom and her grandmother. So my brother is here with me. You see, I'm in my living room at the moment. So I do feel like I've turned the clock back to my early 20s. So I don't relate quite to what you're going through. What I can tell people though is that this is for the good of everyone. Don't be selfish. It's not about you. You might be healthy, you might be young, but we're taking care of some people who may not be in the same predicament. So hashtag stay at home. We're going to try and make things as entertaining as possible for you. I feel you. I've finished Netflix. I've finished Amazon Prime. I've got almost nothing left to watch. You can only rewatch Tiger King so many times, but stay at home, and this is only going to be transient.
I was going to say, have you watched Tiger King? But I'm glad you touched on it. We are going to bring so much phenomenal content to viewers that are supporters of the MLS, supporters of Inter Miami CF. I mean, just looking back at week 1 and week 2 of highlights, it's an exciting team. The fans are absolutely insane. I mean, I'm going to go back to my playing days. I haven't seen fans like this in ages. I mean, at a World Cup, the fans are crazy, but they're not your team supporters. They're just supporters of football. But I mean, players coming off the bus, chanting with the fans. I mean, the first inaugural game taking place at LAFC, and the fans that traveled and were crazy when the players got off the bus, at the hotel, at the grounds. I mean, drinking far too many cervezas, and I'm in full support of it. So I want everyone to stay tuned, because when we come back, we are going to dive into week 1 and week 2 of the highlights. Welcome back to OnSide with myself, Kaylyn Kyle, and Andres Cordero. Now, I've said it once and I'll say it again. We have the best fans in the world with over 110 fan groups. So don't miss out and download our Inter Miami CF app. Now, I know the MLS is on hold due to COVID-19, but we did get 2 exciting matches under our belt. And I want to take us all the way back to Week 1 highlights when Inter Miami CF traveled to Los Angeles to take on LAFC. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Kaylyn, history made at the Bank of California Stadium in LA, Inter Miami's inaugural match in front of some 22,000 fans, 400 of them traveling from Miami as Diego Alonso's team would take its first competitive steps against Bob Bradley's Supporter Shield winning LAFC. Decent chance here as Luis Robles plucks it out of the air. The captain would play a huge role in this one, but there was this one moment of magic for LA. It's off of Diego Rossi to Carlos Vela, and it would take something brilliant to beat Robles. Vela provided it.
Yeah, and it was just a bobbling ball, and like you said, they made magic out of a mistake from Inter Miami there at the back. But Carlos Vela, he's a proven goal scorer within this league, so it's definitely someone, when you're traveling away from home, playing against a top team in the MLS, you've got to keep an eye on him. But what a clever finish from him. But there's brilliant stuff from this Inter Miami FC team on Week 1. They had an opportunity, and I mean, it comes right here, off a set piece, ball goes in, gets picked back up, puts it back in, that left-footed, and just gets on the end of it. It's absolutely fantastic from him, and this is what Morgan brings to this team. The ability on set pieces, his distribution to swing it in from the left and to swing it in from the right.
Rodolfo Pizarro also close to finding the equalizing goal. There would be one last chance for LA, but the full-time whistle leaves it LAFC 1, Inter Miami 0. It's a brave performance on the inaugural match, a very competitive-looking Inter Miami under Diego Alonso, but they come away empty-handed against Vela's LAFC.
Now let's take a look at the stats from Week 1 when Inter Miami traveled to LAFC. The biggest thing of these stats that I am seeing is the 8 saves by Robles. He was absolutely fantastic. He's a leader on the pitch, he's a leader off the pitch, and he is a proven winner of the game. So a huge stat from him. Now, Dre, I want to talk to you a little bit about this game. I want to go more in depth because your brain of football is absolutely incredible. What was your biggest takeaway from Week 1 when Inter Miami traveled to LAFC?
You never know with an expansion side how good they're going to be based on that opening game, but you can sort of get an idea for how competitive they're going to be, whether they're going to be good enough defensively, whether they're going to create enough chances. And I thought despite the result, Inter Miami looked very, very competitive and very good. Yes, for me, Robles was man of the match for Inter Miami, and you almost expect it from him because he's a veteran, he's a leader, it's the reason that he's wearing the captain's armband. But I was really impressed on the other side with Robbie Robinson, who's just 21 years old, top draft pick, number 1 overall by Inter Miami, and thrown into the frying pan a little bit earlier than anybody would have predicted because of the injury to Julian Carranza. And I think Robbie Robinson gave a really good account of himself. We can see what Paul McDonald, what Inter Miami saw in this kid to take him with the number 1 overall pick. He's one of 2 very promising youngsters on this team. We didn't get to see Nialis in this first game. He's the other one. We did see him in Week 2, but just that being that force up top when maybe not much was expected of him right off of the bat for Robbie Robinson was very, very impressive. Meshed really well, I thought, with Pizarro. And this is a team that's built from the back. And so some of the performances you would have expected to be solid were solid. Roman Torres was excellent. Nico Figal looks like the real deal for a guy that many in MLS maybe aren't too familiar with. And of course, Robles. I think that triangle as the base of your defense, the goalkeeper and those 2 center backs, is going to make Miami very, very competitive in every single match in MLS.
Dre, I absolutely love that you touched on Paul McDonough because he's done it at Orlando City, he did it at Atlanta United, and now he's doing it here at Inter Miami CF. He's bringing in the right amount of youth, he's bringing in the right leaders, and he's signing the right DPs, and games are just getting better. Now I want to jump to Week 2. It was a wild game to say the least in DC. We had cards, we had PKs, but most importantly, we had an important signing make history when he netted the first ever goal for Inter Miami CF. Take a look.
So we're off to Audi Field in the nation's capital as DC United hosting Inter Miami, and Miami, in search of its first MLS goal, did not have to wait long. 2 minutes in, all 3 forwards getting a touch. Robinson to Morgan, Pizarro with the first goal in Inter Miami's MLS history. But this is cruel. Early in the second half, it looked as though Lewis Morgan had doubled the lead. Instead, VAR takes a look. Not only is the goal wiped out, but a red card to Roman Torres for a handball at the start of this play that they said was denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. So Inter Miami back to just a 1-0 lead, and now with just 10 men. We picked things up here in the 47th minute. DC United was a hopeful ball into the area. Ulloa trying to clear it. Referee says he caught Edinson Flores, and it's a penalty for the home side. Yamil Assad would step up from 12 paces out, looking to slot in the equalizing goal.
Yeah, and this is just tough for Inter Miami CF. I mean, they started out strong, got that early goal, got that confidence, the first goal of the inaugural season. Then obviously losing your center back due to a red card, your leader of the team. It's something you don't want to start a game out like.
No, and DC United would find a second goal here off the initial free kick. It was Frederic Briand who scored the game winner 2-1 to United full time. It was an improved performance for Inter Miami, an historic first MLS goal by Rodolfo Pizarro, but they come away on the wrong side of a 2-1 final.
So let's take a look at the stats from this game versus DC. The biggest thing that stands out to me is the red card that was picked up in the second half. It completely changed the dynamic of the game. The disallowed goal. Inter Miami, for me, came out flying in this match. Now, Dre, I want to dive in deeper. I want to ask you about a few players that kind of got you excited for this upcoming MLS season.
Yeah, well, some of the newcomers certainly into the league, Nico Figal and Andres Reyes, that were part of that back line. We'll talk about center backs because this time there were 3 of them as opposed to the 2 from match day 1 against LAFC. Change information from Diego Alonso, showing a bit of versatility to a 3-4-3 at times. 5 at the back as the fullbacks would come back and help. But obviously, the red card to Torres was a game changer in many, many ways. The other 2 guys, the ones on either side of him, Andres Reyes, young Colombian center back, just 20 years old. He was part of the Colombia team that went to the Under-20 World Cup in Poland last year and was really impressive. They were only knocked out of that competition in the knockout stages by the eventual winners, Ukraine. I believe he scored actually for Colombia in that first knockout stage. We're still waiting for him to score his first Inter Miami goal, but I assume it won't be long. He did not look out of place playing alongside 2 more accomplished, older, more polished center backs like Torres and Nico Figal. Nico Figal is the other guy I want to talk about because he has the potential to be one of the best newcomers into Major League Soccer, especially when it comes to the defenders. The ball does not burn his feet. He's happy to have it in possession. When he's being closed down, he still makes all of the right decisions. His dribbling is actually phenomenal for a defender. We saw a few tricks and flicks out of the back from Nico Figal. This is a team that's built from the back, and I think they're in good hands with this crop of center backs. The one other guy we haven't talked about a ton. Yes, everyone expects Pizarro to be good, to score goals. He was good. He did score a goal. He scored the first one in Inter Miami's history. But Lewis Morgan has been so consistent through these first 2 matches. I'm just astonished by how quickly he has adapted to this league and what a threat he looks on that right wing.
Yeah, it looks like an exciting squad, and I love that you said that. They've really solidified that back line. They're very tough to break down, and in the MLS, you kind of see across the board weaker back lines. Teams usually go for big guys up top, big DP signings for your number 9s, your number 10s. So that's something Inter Miami did a fantastic job building a team, like you said, in that back line and through that midfield unit. So it is going to be so exciting once the league starts picking back up. Hopefully this virus gets out of here sooner rather than later, because I miss football, you miss football, our fans miss football, I'm sure the guys miss football. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we talk gaming. Yes, gaming.
Hola mi gente, te habla Román Torres.
Hola a todos, les habla Andres Reyes.
Hola, soy Cristian Macum.
What's up, everyone? Ben Sweat here. I know we're in quarantine right now, but technically we're still in season. So here's a few of my exercises that I've been doing every day. Just some stride outs just to keep up my fitness and keep sort of a game pace and a game mode.
Dale, 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 rosado. Dale, 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 rosado. Dale, rosado. Dale, 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 rosado. Dale, 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 rosado. Dale, rosado. Dale, 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 rosado. Dale.
Welcome back. Now, just because football is on hold doesn't mean our team couldn't get their fix. Instead of on-field gaming, we went to online e-gaming, to a little game called Twitch Aid 2020. We had 128,000 views. Now, you guys get to take a look.
Bienvenidos a Twitch Stream Aid 2020 en el canal del Inter Miami. Fernando Palomo de ESPN les saluda. Un placer que nos pueden acompañar, un placer que pueden estar con 4 de las grandes figuras de este Inter Miami. Ahí está el Kun, a ver qué hace. Paredes, ojo, viene el primero. ¡Gol, papá! ¡Gol! Ahí está.
¡Cantalo,
Cayó el
Kun!
primero. No. Up the middle, the shot, some goal!
Wait, how about that though?
Viene Francia. Se viene, ta, 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 ta.
Holy! What's the goal with it?
Ojo con ese, y está el primero. Watch out for this counterattacks. France knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I told you they know what they're doing.
Oh,
Look at that. Oh, look at that. 1-1. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Lewis, he did it again. Ahí va para el tercero, ahí va 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 el tercero, y está gol. Golazo de Francia.
it's a practice game, yes, I know. It's 4-1 though. Yeah.
Oh my God, the 1-2s right now.
You gotta have the ball before. Oh, look at that. Another cheeky play.
Para la
There you
misión,
go.
ahí está.
Let's go!
Está un soporífero empate a 1 por ahora, Pizarro.
What?
Ojo con ese y entra gol. De Francia va por el costado, viene Dembélé, en el centro de Dembélé. ¡Otro! Qué poco hace Francia en este partido.
Offside.
Estos se fueron, eso me pareció offside. Ojo con esa tapada. El disparo. ¡Gol! Gol de Pizarro, gol de Francia. Dejo detenimiento. Yo para sacarme el lustre. Ojo que
Ahí
ese
está.
patazo. Lo que veíamos, Juli.
No.
Ahí está y remonta. Bien. El primero. ¡Oh, palo! Mira esa, mira esta. Sterling. Uy,
No.
Oh my gosh, what a combo.
No te jugamos.
Oh my God, can it be?
¡Golazo!
That's the play of the tournament right there.
Ahí está, el mejor gol. Sí,
What
Nick,
a
that's the best goal of the
combination.
tournament. From this one.
Está rendido.
Oh, look at this. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Let's copy it. Let's copy it.
Oh,
It is it.
Fuera.
Ojo, ojo. Ahí está. Ta, ta, ta.
momentum.
Empate, Bélgica, Inglaterra. Pizarro jugando. Inglaterra se la acaba de perder. ¡Este gol!
Oh my God, already?
Increíble. La dejó. La regaló Lukaku.
Oh my God.
Aquí atrás. Disparo.
Yes,
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, this tournament is going to go down as the best ever. Oh!
oh my God, big
Gol
chance.
de Inglaterra ahora.
Wow. Right after.
Está llorando Pizarro,
The
no.
hate
Se emociona.
And are we shocked? Pizarro comes out on top. He comes out victorious. He was the first goal scorer for Inter Miami CF, and now he is the winner of Twitch Aid 2020. Now, Dre, I know you're a big gamer, so if they were to have another one of these tournaments, would you want to take part?
I'm obsessed with video games. I absolutely would want to take part, but I have a lot of catching up to do because I hung up my FIFA remote control about 2 editions of FIFA ago, but I'm sure I can catch up and I could at least be competitive.
I'm going to be honest here. The only time I've ever played FIFA is when they had the FIFA women's tournament in the game, and I was actually in the game. It looks nothing like me. I'm terrible at video games, but I will come and support you and beat Team Dre and Kay all
What was
day
your
long.
rating? What was your rating, Kaylyn? Be honest.
98?
Oh, that's really good.
That's a huge, no, it's a huge lie. I think it was like 64 and my speed was about 32, so it was terrible. But I mean, you can't be good at everything, right, Dre?
At least not the virtual you, the real you.
Exactly. Now I want to jump over to another video that we did with the guys. We asked them a question. Would you rather talk to animals or speak all the languages? Take a look.
Hablar con los animales.
Speak every language in the world.
I would rather talk with animals. Do you like sonar with like a whale or something?
It'd be pretty cool. Speak all 4 languages.
I think talk with animals, actually. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool and kind of get their perspective on things.
Hablar con los animales.
Hablar con los animales. No, pues yo para qué quiero hablar todos los idiomas.
Okay, Dre, I need to ask you, would you rather talk to animals or would you rather be able to speak all the languages?
That is such a difficult question because you want both, don't you? But you know what?
Yeah.
The reason I would want to speak all the languages is because I think the more languages you speak, we think through language, we'd have more perspective. But what better perspective than to ask those questions of the animals? You can ask the perspective of birds, you can ask the perspective of your dog. So I think that makes you a superhero, right? Wasn't that Aquaman's power, is that he can talk to animals, but only marine animals? If I can talk to all animals, I'm stronger than Aquaman. That's the right choice.
I mean, how amazing would it be if you could talk to them in that little baby voice? You know, when you come home, you do it to your kids, but everyone does it to their dogs. Like, oh, are you a good boy? If they actually genuinely like it, or are they just like, oh, I want my owner to take a hike. But that is all the time we have. We talked animals, we talked if we wanted to speak every language, we had highlights from week 1 and week 2, and we will not disappoint because next week we have a very special guest coming on OnSide, and we can't wait to let you know who it is.